Hello, shrimplings! Welcome, welcome! Woo! Shrimp. $6 shrimp special. I always get tongue-tied with that one. How are you guys doing? Shrimp. I am working. I see Kira first again in the comments. Should it be a surprise? I see British guy. Hi, British guy. Welcome. I see Abraham. Hi, Abraham. I see Lord Trap. Hello, Trap. Welcome. That's rare seeing you in chat. Hello. $6 stream special. Hello, Wincito. We're actually starting with you today, huh? We've like we've left it for next week like 3 times in a row. But no, today we're actually doing it. We're starting with you. No escape. No escape this time. I see Pretz. Hello, Pretz. Welcome. Ay, aquele de click. Okay. I did something to the chat. Sorry. I see Latitude. Hello, lad. Welcome. And my one and only White Knight. Aegis. Hello. Do your worst. It's not actually worst, and it's part of the topic for today with the submissions and stuff that we got them. They're pretty similar to those of last week, right? In that technically they're all very impressive and all right? So now the thing is to take a step back and see like what happens next. What can I do to make it better or to grow from this, right? So that your next work, your next drawing is even better, taking into account all that you learned with these ones. I don't have much, but I'm always listening. Guster Team starts playing. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, all of you, my shrimplings. Saturday, hell yeah, today's Saturday. And we're back again with some art tips for the stream. I just put on my glove, which my tracker absolutely hates. Look at that. It's like messing up the hands. And we got a bunch of cool submissions. Thank you all so much again for your submissions this week. This corner would not exist if it wasn't for your guys' trust in me, to heed my comments and to see what we all can learn from it. I see Naishi. Hello, Naishi. Welcome. My glove. Hello. Anti-tracking glove. Scary. This is my tracking glove is black, so that's probably something to do with it. I'm doing the tracking for my model with just a webcam. So, well, a webcam that's my phone. So it's probably not the top of the line. The gloves of doom and despair. I actually have to wash my glove. If you're a digital artist, don't forget to wash your glove. My glove is already standing up on its own. I can't show you, but I think it's for the best. Don't be like me. Be a good clean shrimpling and wash your glove. She's almost doing the 6-7. 6-7 again. 6-7 again. The tracking. Y'all wear gloves? Gloves are really nice because at least for me, I get really nervous doing anything, like, at all. So it helps to, like, not fill my tablet with all sweat and, my hand doesn't stick to it and stuff. Where did you buy your artist glove, Anita? I just bought it on Amazon. It was, it's by a company called Sense Labs with an X. Not a paid sponsorship, by the way. Sense Labs. And it was on Amazon, and it was like 200 pesos Mexican, which is around, I think, like $10, maybe like 12, because right now it's like a little devalued. But yeah, it's not that bad, because the original one that came with my tablet, I lost it. I don't know where I left it. I actually don't remember if it even came with one. This glove has lasted me a bunch. I wash it by hand, so to not mess it up with the washing machine. Anna, hello, Cafe, welcome. Ooh, so nice to see you around here. But yeah, if I cannot recommend it enough. My hand, like I said, especially now with like the heat and everything, I sweat a lot. And back then, when I got my tablet the first time, my hand used to stick a lot, and you know, I had to touch off turn off the touch sensibility and things like that. It was pretty annoying. It's actually really helpful as well if you have something like, or you're drawing in like an iPad or something like that. The glove is gonna make it so that your hand doesn't drag around and stuff. So yeah, get your glove and wash it. Don't be like me. It smells like you sock. Finally managed to be here on your stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to see a lot of new faces to the stream, to the chat. Woo! Okay, so like I said, today's stream for the art tips is to take a step back, and now that you have your super cool illustration that one, you're already satisfied with, that's the most important part. Every drawing that you do, you have to like it, right? That's how you know if you've gone to the other side. If you don't like it, then you still have to work things on. But if you already like it, then everything else is pretty much vanity, right? It's because you want to get better. It's because it's your hobby to find out and to learn new things and to apply them to your drawings, right? So step number one, you already like it. Step number two, you love the technique that you used, right? And it looks really well. It went popular maybe on social media, whatever your definition of that might be. For me specifically, anything above 300 likes is popular because it's 300 people watching your stuff, right? Especially on a place like Instagram, where bots are not usually liking random people's like posts, right? If you get around 100 likes on Instagram and 300 likes on Twitter, your drawing's already popular, like you've done it. Is that a rule? Not really, not a rule. But it's more like so that you don't get lost in the spiral, the self-hate spiral of the common digital artist, right? If you hate what you make, it's gonna be really hard to get motivated to draw, right? So that's why you need to draw, and this might sound really funny, right? But you need to draw what you like. All of the things that you like. Hello, Anna. Hi, Blue. Welcome to the stream. First time here. Yeah, thank you so much. The amazing digital artist. In my opinion, anything past 50 is already popular because that's already a crowd of people. Oh yeah, it depends on the social media, right? On Twitter, there's a lot of bots and stuff. It's why, I don't know if you've noticed, sometimes your follower count varies like 10 people, right? One day you have 2,520 and then the other one you have 2,510. And that's usually bot accounts like getting cold and stuff. But yeah, it's really important that you draw what you like and that you find your own niche, right? Not always drawing what's popular, because then it's going to be really hard to motivate yourself for drawing. It's the Japanese have a saying, which is a little controversial, I think, right? Because they use a different definition of the word, right? Is draw your fetish. But in Japanese, fetish is more like moe, which moe is the things that you like to see replicated all the time, right? For example, I really like characters with pigtails. I really like characters that are short, and I really like characters that are pudgy. So most of the things that make me happy to draw are characters that are either have pigtails, that are either like super small and super pudgy, or I also really like drawing women, mostly women, right? If I were to do a thing where I tried to get popular and suddenly start drawing like buff, burly JoJo men and stuff, I'd probably be pretty unhappy. I've tried it. Like, I can draw it, but it's not something that fills me personally. It's a skill. To be able to keep motivated drawing things that you don't like. It's why a lot of commission artists burn out, right? It's not because it's a lot of work or because it takes a lot of time. It's because it also takes a lot of mental energy when you're drawing something that you don't usually draw and that you don't usually like, right? So that's once you already got all of that. Back on topic. Once you already got all of that and you look at your art, right, and you feel like, I want to move on from this, I want to grow from this, what's next? You have to take a step back, right? Because probably this drawing that you just did took you a long time. It's anywhere between 4 to 20 hours, right? So your eyes are already used to seeing it. You're already used to seeing all the little details that you put on and stuff. You have no idea how someone who's just looking at your art, say on Twitter or on Instagram, right, scrolling past it, is gonna look at it. You have to put yourself in your shoes. It's a good exercise to do. Exercise. It's a good exercise to do if you're posting regularly on social media and you notice like your likes are dwindling or something, like you're getting lost in the sauce, your art keeps being like more elaborate, but you know, you're not getting the attention that you expect. Try it, right? Take a step back from drawing, like literally don't draw for like 3 days, literally just 3 days. And then open your social media, open your drawings and scroll through them. Like how a normal person would look at your art organically, right, on their feed. And notice which ones catch your attention more, which ones don't, which ones are really complicated to look at, right? Sometimes less is more. The whole point, if you want to be an artist on social media and get them likes, or the commissions, right, is to manage, it's all marketing, guys. It's to manage to grab the person's attention in literally the first 6 seconds. Not even a minute, not even 20 seconds, 6 seconds, because that's what it takes them to scroll. Like an up scroll on a phone takes 6 seconds, sometimes even less if the person's going fast and just doom scrolling, right? So this is what we're gonna do today. We're looking at some art pieces that you guys submitted in the Shrimp Tank Discord. Thank you so much again. Link in the chat if you haven't joined the Shrimp Tank Discord and you also want to have your art featured in the streams and talked about and taken apart. All of these submissions, I noticed, you know, they're very technical, they're very nice. I know these artists, they already get a bunch of likes. They get some of them get a bunch of work, right? Like Soli's here or Fumi. And you know, they submitted it to me. I told you guys to tell me why you've submitted it, but you didn't tell me, so I'm gonna have to try to guess again why you're submitting your stuff. We're finding out what's happening, right? What they're looking in their art that they think that they can do better, right? Because there's a reason why they sent it to us, right? The Shrimp Tank. Talk more, Jojo. Wait. No, not talking more, Jojo. Did I miss anything? Oh, hello, Fumi. No, we're just beginning. Literally. I've been knocked from first, crying. So, our first submission, let me turn off my guidelines here. Our first submission is by Wens Ilus. You will know him because we just had him as a guest. What was it? The week before last week? No, the week before that. I don't remember. We have very recently as a guest, right? And he talked to us a little bit about his creative process and the message behind his art and stuff, right? Now, the use of color here is fantastic. Why? Because, and I'm pretty sure you did it intentionally, Wens. I don't know if you've noticed or if anyone else can tell. He's using complementary colors, like super well. In a color wheel, let me look up color wheel because I don't have a color wheel. There it is. Aha. In a color wheel like this, we have what's called, it's like the relationships between the colors, right? We have complementary, we have tertiary, we have triad, we have, how is it? Monotone? I don't remember. It was intentional. Ah, thank God. Thank God. So what Wens is doing here, if you notice in our color wheel, it's basically just how colors look good together, right? How colors work together and create contrast just by being next to each other. Analog colors, I think it's analog colors as well. Yeah. What Wens is doing here is doing complementary colors, which is basically just going, I'm gonna put it like this, from one end of the colors to the other, one end of the wheel to the other, like right across. He's using blue and orange. You can also do it with yellow and purple, green and red. All of these colors, when you use them, also have a meaning, right? For example, you're gonna see green and red is usually used for characters that have an inner conflict that they don't, want to talk about. They don't recognize it, right? Complementary colors are usually used in general like that. But I've seen in media, green and red are the most used for characters that have inner conflict. You're gonna see it in this guy from Zootopia, Nick Wilde. He's literally green and red. And the whole thing in the story is that he doesn't know, right, if he's a good guy, if he's a bad guy. He's had to do things to survive, but he wants to be a part of this utopia, of the city, of the community, right? Green and red. You see it. Who else? I'm thinking. Oh, you see it in May from Turning Red. May Turning Red. Right? And here it's really funny because she turns also into a red panda, so it kind of ties in with that. But look, she has the green clip and the red. Why is her green so small? Because I don't know if you've seen the movie, you should watch it. It's very pretty. Part of her journey is discovering that she likes becoming the panda. She likes, she doesn't want to try and hide it. She likes that power. In comparison to her mom is mostly green with a little bit of red. The whole premise of the movie is that the women in these like lineage have the power to become red pandas when they become like overwhelmed or emotional. But they've all been taught to hide it and to repress it. I think they describe it as a curse, right? But in May's case, she's able to make a case for it and use it to her advantage, and she learns how to live with it without it cursing her life, right? She even uses it to her advantage sometimes to like get some money and stuff. But yeah, these two characters have green and red, but the way they go along their conflict says what part they're repressing and what part they're letting free, right? May is the one that's actually embracing being the panda. So she just has a little bit of green because she feels the pressure from her mom to hide it. And her mom on the other side, she's all absolutely green. She does not want to talk about the red that's still right there and is still part of her, right? Now, orange and blue. Orange is in graphic design the color of fun, the color of youth. You're gonna see it used a lot in Fanta. Fanta is orange, right? Fanta 7. Nickelodeon. Can't use my tablet. Nickelodeon is orange, right? Let's put orange brands. Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson is orange, right? Harley Davidson logo. So it's the color of fun, of adventure, of loving things. And then we have blue. Blue is the color of safety, of calm, and also sadness, right? So I think it's really sweet that for this piece where it's Sayori and MC, right? They're enjoying the sunset together. Also monochromatic. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. They're enjoying the sunset together. And even though it's a happy moment, and yes, they're being hit by the orange light right here, right? Let's color pick it. You're gonna see it's kind of a yellowish orange, right? But they're also completely overwhelmed by blue. This is not only the effect that sunset has on like on the environment and stuff, but also I think talks a lot about their personality, about their relationship with Sayori and MC, right? They're trying to have the fun times, and Sayori is trying to repress all of the sadness that's behind it. Harley Davidson. I don't know how to say it. Do you recommend actually going out and properly researching the meaning of colors before using them for arts? I think it's something that is completely gonna elevate your illustrations if you want, right? It's gonna go from you making illustrations that are just pretty people posing to something like this with storytelling behind it without having to write, dialogue or things like that. I think it's something definitely worth looking into. for me, myself personally, since I love illustrating and drawing, especially anime and things like that, it's like a hobby part of it, learning new things and finding other things that I can apply to my drawings, right? Teachings about photography, composition, color, storytelling, all of those things, you know, things from comics, from movies, from photography, from the script writing, everything, absolutely everything. So if that's something that you're interested in and, you know, it's your hobby and you want to dedicate more time to it, I would completely recommend it, 100%. Learn everything that you can. everyone storytelling. We're gonna summon the storyteller here. Me when the story is being told. Yeah, and you know, in here, for example, a story is being told without even needing to use any complicated, like text or composition or anything. Empty guns. Oh, hello, Empty. Welcome. So, now, how can we make this better? I spent a long time looking at this, especially because you sent it when's like, ooh, I'm gonna write Wencito's social media. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna write the social media of the people, so every time I zoom out, you know who made it. When's they, and I think is Ilus. Así. Yay! So, I spent a long time looking at this, right? And I'm thinking, how can we make it better? How can we elevate it? I see that you're using blending modes to put the orange on the bodies, right? That's why they look yellowish. I love what you did with the background here. And I don't know. I mean, I guess if I were, again, to be picky, right? I am a person who didn't spend 10 hours drawing this, right? I didn't spend 10 hours looking at this, drawing it, right? But someone who looked at it, it was mostly a bad study. I don't think it's bad. I think it's really good. Especially with how you applied it with the characters and the colors, like we said. Took me like 2 hours. Wow. Okay. That's way less than I thought. So as someone who's doing this, or we're watching, looking at this really fast, I think the blue, even though it's hard and it creates most of the contrast in the illustration, makes their faces kind of hard to see. I don't know if that was the intention. I think you could spin it around and say, oh yeah, because they're both hiding things. They're both hiding feelings, right? I don't know if that was the case. Yes, me, blue. I also found it really odd. You know, they both have earbuds, but Sayori's are like reds, I guess, to match with her bow. I thought it was kind of weird to implement red like this. I think if you left it to her bow, it would be way more catchy, especially because it's being hit by the light right here. Right? Something that you could do maybe... Never mind, it took me 5, just check. But my recent studies have been in less than 2 hours. That's because you keep doing them. You're getting faster. That's nice. That's perfect. So what I would do, and this is just because you say it's like a bad study and stuff. Now that you've had time to see it again, and I've had time to see it again, right, and not think about it too much, I would really try playing again with the orange and the blue when it comes to the meaning of Sayori and MC. I would personally try and make Sayori more evolved by the blue. Right? More blue than MC, and MC is just pure yellow. I think maybe I see his eyes change color here, right? I think this is because of the overlay layer. He has this eye lighter than the other, right? And this one kind of looks red, so maybe it's like he only has eyes for her and stuff. And I get that the idea is that Sayori, being so close to the light here, maybe, is that she's the one that brings light to the life of MC, right? But since you played the game and you've talked about your relationship with Sayori and stuff, Sayori in the left side and more covered by shadow would work. Exactly. If we go by what we learn in the game and how the relationship actually is, right? MC always says that Sayori is like the light of his life, but we could turn it around, and we can make we can like play more with the roles in the relationship in the game, right? Oh, let me duplicate it and then rasterize it. Yeah. What I would do personally to make this even more hard-hitting and sad, right? To create some guilt on the person viewing this would be switching their sides. Oh, would be okay, I see what I'm doing. There. Aha. Would be switching their sides and putting Sayori on this side. I'm gonna put her in a new layer via cut. And putting MC on the other side. And I think I wouldn't even change the way their faces are like drawn. I think it feels like you can feel a lot of the betrayal that MC felt when Sayori didn't tell him how she was feeling. And then also his part in like never noticing or not caring, right? He's just here enjoying the moment that he's spending with Sayori, and Sayori's happy and she's laughing alongside with him, right? They're both looking away from each other. This is storytelling, right? MC is focused on how happy this makes him. He's focused on the side of the light. He's like, I'm having so much fun spending time with my best friend. While Sayori is completely focused on her sad side, all of the blue, and how terrible it's gonna feel when she eventually has to leave him, right? When she makes the decision to leave him. Purple, could it be used as a shade for solder drawings, perhaps? Now, purple is interesting because purple is usually the color of mystery and the color of mischief and like trickstery, right? The Joker is purple and green. The Hulk is purple and green. What other things? Let's look for purple and green brands. Oh, I keep opening the wrong one. Purple and green characters, right? Barney's purple and green, and he's the magic dinosaur, right? Spike is purple and green because he's a dragon. Fanboy is purple and green because he's role-playing to be a superhero in his normal life, right? So purple, it's usually used as the color of mystery and magic and fun. I would not use it if what you want to communicate is sadness, because what you're probably gonna have is either someone who comes across as a villain, which is like trickstery and stuff, like Edna or Ursula, or something that looks magical, right? Like the Cheshire Cat, or like Barney. Buzz Lightyear is purple and green as well, right? Because he's from another like planet entirely and he doesn't know that he himself is a toy. The Green Goblin because he's a villain. Things like that. So I would not use purple to describe sadness now. Maybe, I mean, you can use it if you're drawing like Barney sad. Sad Barney or sad Yuri, things like that. But you should always, you should be careful with using colors on the way they were not intended, because sometimes, depending on how you use them, you could give people the wrong impression, right? And instead of a sad scene, it looks mysterious and magical, right? Mysterion from South Park is purple and green, exactly, because he keeps coming back. Poor Kenny. Piccolo 2, okay, gave you some really good ideas. Yeah. Try it. You can Google all of these color meanings and, you know, also understand that it's not always, you know, you can subvert their meanings to however you feel like it, right? I've seen people use yellow as the color of happiness, the color of happy-go-lucky, right? Pikachu is yellow, SpongeBob is yellow, right? And then I read the visual novel Sin City, and they only use purple when they're talking about someone who's really, really ill and hurts children, right? And this person is like disgusting and massive, and yellow. Yellow is being used to describe illness, to describe unwellness, to describe something uneasy, right? You can always subvert this meaning, but you have to justify why you're doing them, right? In the case of this person, I think it was because of their crimes against children and how they present themselves as a friend to children, but they were actually sick in the head. Needing to use the restroom is yellow. Yeah, yellow is also the color of urine. Yellow is the color of the snow that you don't eat, right? Yellow is the color of stinginess, of money. You know, you can give it some really bad meaning as well. Any color meaning can be subverted. The same way sadness is the color. The sadness is blue, but you can also make blue calm. You know, like the color of the sea, the color of the sky. Things like that. So you can research it. You can research this on Google and stuff, wherever you like. And just check how you can apply it to your own drawings. And how, you know, if you're gonna subvert them, have a reason why you're doing it. Blue and purple. So red is the color of love, but also combines when with the color of evil. Now, this is a cool thing that most people get wrong. Red is not the color of love per se. Red is the color of passion. Red is the color of someone who's really passionate about who they are, about what they like, and about what they're about, right? That's why red is used so much, so much for villains and stuff. But, however, you know, hell is also red. Blood is also red, right? It's danger, it's imminence. It's a bad color to see in real life, right? It's really scary. So, as long as you remember that red is not necessarily the color of love, it's the color of passion. You can use it for whatever you want as well. But yeah, another color is green. Green is also the color of feeling ill, right? Like the emojis of the emoji almost about to puke and stuff. But it's also the color of nature and the color of the trees, the color of some food, right? Some of the best food in the world is green. Just things like that. There's always gonna be a subversion, right? There's always gonna be rules that are broken. Furina from Genshin is blue and Burn is white from Zenless and Zero is red. Yeah. Interesting. I'm learning a lot. Nice. Oh yeah. Green is also the color of greed. Is the color of murky waters, of uncertainty. That's why a lot of villains are also purple and green. Because they're not... They're like weird and evil. And sick in the head. So, what we're doing with this drawing, again, like I said, is trying to change the narrative, making them look away from each other, making the relationship way more sadder. And mirroring a little bit more of their story in game, right? I'm gonna cut MC's feet. Bye, feet. Well, at least part of it. And Sayori needs some shoes. At least just a little bit. We are drawing. We're drawing the shoes for Sayori. And it's like a light blue, I think. But this part's not gonna be seen, so doesn't really matter. We can make it a little bit darker here, right? So that they show a little better against the light and stuff. So yeah, it's not that you can't use certain colors with certain things. It's just that it's gonna make more sense if you use them accordingly to what people expect. I've seen, for example, my favorite use of like a color subversion is white, because white is the color of purity, the color of religion, the color of, you know, like peace, the white dove of peace. And I've seen people using it sometimes. Some artists use it as the color of not impunity, of ruthlessness and evil, right? Because once you make everything white and pure, there's no color in the world, right? I really like it. I really like seeing white be used like that. Monica does it really well because Monica is all like green, right? Her eyes are green and her bow is white, and you would look at her and you don't think that she's a threat. And then you play the game and you go, oh, this motherfucker's crazy. Monica is a really interesting use of green and white. Colors that you don't expect to be evil and scary. But that's exactly what she's using. She's quote-unquote purifying the game. She's destroying everything that makes it a game so that you can pay attention to her. Really interesting, isn't it? Dying in the snow like a dude in the movie. Top 10 bleeding out location. Oh yeah, right? The white nothingness evolves you. These little things like that. I'm gonna spend like way more time just trying to recreate what Wens here did. And I see that you used... Oh, Buddy. Hello, Buddy. Welcome. Twilight Sparkle is evil. No, because remember, purple is the color of magic and mischief, right? And she's always messing things up with her friends. She's not evil, but the purple part of her is messing things out with her friends and playing along with magic and her learning the lesson, right? She's not purple and green. What do you think of black and green, Anna? It reminds me of the Matrix. Black, like purple, is a color of a lot of mystery, of elegance, mostly. It's a mystery that carries elegance, that carries maybe a little bit of pride. Also, instead of using an overlay layer, I would totally just go around and use actual orange for the light. I understand that it's supposed to be like how the light is hitting and stuff, but I think it's really gonna get the point across on one of them is orange and one of them is blue. Right? One of them evolved by orange and the other one evolved... One of them evolved by orange and one of them evolved by completely blue. So yeah, black and green, I think of a Neo from the Matrix. I think of... Probably... I'm not sure. Probably just that one. I don't remember more characters. Green is usually... Black is usually a character color that's restrained for like villains that are the big bad. Just because, you know, everyone's afraid of the dark. Or well, mostly like children and stuff. Most people. And black is the color, like I said, of elegance, and it would require a villain that's really like well taking care of themselves. Purple guy is mysterious, yeah, because purple guy, like we don't know his intentions. He starts appearing right in FNAF 2, doing things, and we're not supposed. Well, at first we don't know what to make of him, but he is purple, so it tells us that he's doing something weird. That he shouldn't be doing. Something trickstery. Mischievous. Wesker, my black leather goat. Oh yeah, Wesker, for example, is black. Let's make him super orange. Super orange, super orange. Aye. Orange MC. And, you know, even though he's supposed to be consumed by a little bit of shadow, I would make it like... You know what? This orange shirt could be a little lighter. Like yellowish. Yeah, like this. Right. And even... and I would make his blue a little bit less intense, maybe. You know, like, yeah, he's in the moment, but he's not. His blue is more serene. His blue is more calm. His blue is, I am happy right now. Instead of Sayori's extremely overwhelming and strong sadness blue. Right? And this is, again, just going out by what we see right now after the drawing has been done, right? You're not... This probably, your reference didn't probably have this. It has to be a little bit of purple, I think, for the skin. Just a little, slightly. Yeah. Right, he's blue. Also on his face as well. Now, MC's blue is a little bit more calm, more happy, right? We're eating out his eye. Okay, let's bring back the eye. And he's not paying attention to how overwhelming the blue is on Sayori, right? And now he looks calm and peaceful. And now Sayori, poor Sayori, time to mess her up. We make her mostly blue, absolutely mostly blue. I think if I put this in color mode, no, okay, that did nothing. Maybe in hard light. Yeah, okay. A little bit. And maybe she only has her bounce light is the reflected, well, the orange that she has is the reflected bounce light from MC, but not her. And she's just completely blue. Absolutely blue. Right? Ooh, this is looking so cool. It's not because I am the one who came up with it. No, not at all. This one has to have it. In this one, her knee would be something like this, I think. And all of this can be in shadow. And then this not. Like this. Right? And we put the little yellow that she has is actually because of MC. The little orange. The little bit of happiness is because of MC. But she's all ready to say goodbye to it. Because she's not looking at him. She's not focusing on the moment. She's focusing on something else. Something we don't know. Right? And all of this part of the background needs to be blue as well. Sorry for your amazing tile work. Smurf. Eating his eyes. Lightsabers are really interesting for the whole color theory. Actually, yeah. Fucking lightsabers have like the most color theory behind them. Oh, hi Sonic Mean. Welcome. We love angst in this household. Oh yeah, I know exactly how you are, Wins. I know how much you love your angst. Look at that. We really and like I said, we didn't change anything. We can make this blue maybe a little bit less bright. Not for any reason other than it's I'm gonna put a screen layer. It makes it hard to see the characters' faces. Like not I'm not trying to make it like not as like intense, but a little bit less. Like the color you have here, just so that we can see the lines better. Or alternatively, you can make your lines, we could make the lines darker here. Right, so that just to be able to differentiate the shapes and stuff and catch them first glance. Like literally, we are here and we can still see her face. Right? And it's again, like we said earlier, he MC is looking out in the distance onto the sunny days, the happy days. He's like, today was a really, really good day. I'm here with my best friend sitting down. I am calm. I am happy. Maybe she just stole the dumb joke and I'm just like, Sayori, you bring so much light to my life. And Sayori is trying to make light of the situation where MC feels happiness, he feels pain. It's all blue, all blue, all blue. She's not looking at him. She's looking up. What's she looking up for? The past, maybe. To not forget that this happy day is just a blip in all of her depression. Heaven, because she's hoping that's where she's gonna end up. We don't know. But both of them are clearly focusing on the different thing. And I think that's beautiful. We didn't do anything too complicated to this piece. We just made it a little bit more angsty. You know, we pushed it a little bit more. And now the message, I think it's way clearer, right, in their relationship. Before, it was a fun scene, right? Yes, they're involved in blue. Tragedy's about to happen. But it's like, it's still a happy image, right? And then we have this one. And it's like, spear through the heart immediately, right? Because thanks to color theory, thanks to light, thanks to light and shadow and stuff, right? The message just gets across, bam, like this. I don't know how to snap, but imagine I'm snapping. Imagine you hear it. Just looking at heaven, angst-maxing. Oh yeah. Just and again, this is just from resting our eyes, going back. What does the drawing actually mean? What do we want it to mean? Can we push it? Can we make it so that the person feels even guiltier for looking at this and then retweeting it? Guilt trip your audience if you're drawing sad stuff. Poppy can snap. She's not a crab nor a lobster. Yeah, no, it's because of that. I just have 6 little appendages and I move them freely. But yeah, we didn't do much this time. We just added a little bit more of storytelling to help make the message clearer through color theory and light and shadow. We have a happy image. Their days are gonna be tainted soon by tragedy. And then we have their days are actually already not what they think they are. Storytelling again. No. So yeah, that's what I would do with Sito and what I would try to look for in all of your illustrations. We already had our guest corner, right? I know that you love a strong ambience and strong environment. Push it harder. Push beyond what your reference tells you. Look at it and say, what's the message I'm gonna transmit? What's the message I'm gonna communicate? And just run with it. Absolutely. Take it and you run. And you run. You run with it and guilt trip your audience. And, you know, you can show how much you hate a sad ending. And yet you still draw them. Thanks for the helping here. Now gotta apply it to my next Sayoyo kill drawing. You monster. Keep drawing. Yeah, so don't be afraid of, you know, going against your reference that you're using for your environment and apply what you know about the characters and stuff to tailor it to them. Right? Like that one drawing you did of Sayori, of MC and Sayori's like on her grave. Let me open a new window here. When they lose. I'm sure it's gonna come up if I... Wednesday lose. No. You'll see. Okay, it's not showing up. This one. Oh, here it is. The very first drawing. This drawing, I remember when I saw it, it popped off, right? And I saw your reference and it was just a guy and a girl and he was like hiding flowers from her and stuff. The only little thing that you changed, the only little thing, was adding that small gravestone in the back. And by God, did people resonate with that? By God, did people resonate with that? This is an awesome drawing. And this is what happens when you grab your reference and you apply it to what you know about your characters, right? We're grabbing a reference and we're making it even sadder. We're playing with people's emotions. OMG, not this. Yeah, this drawing is infamous at this point. Thank you so much, Wincito, for your submission. I hope this kind of helped refresh your eyes. I'm gonna cry. I should drama bait too with the dead duck. He's not gonna lie. Yeah, you should do it. It's part of the game. It's part of the game. The juxtaposition of happy days and sadness and complete like craziness. Looks pretty cool. I've never seen that drawing before. Oh man, it had a bunch of likes on Twitter, like tens of thousands. I don't know. This is almost as bad as the "Are Those Flowers for Me" one. Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one that we just showed right here. And it's what I'm telling Wenz he should be doing with all of his Doki drawings in the future. Or the fact that the one that you just drew with Sayori has no shadow, and she's totally a ghost. We finally summoned Storyteller after saying storytelling 20 times. Hello, Steve. Welcome. So yeah, do that, Wins. Do that. Play with your reference. Our next submission is from New Abraham 420. His username is right here, but I'm also gonna write it down below so you guys can know who drew this. New Abraham 420. And yet. If you type Wednesday Illus, you find me on Google. Oh, with the ad, right. I just Googled it. I've been being shown. Is that mirror tool? Doesn't seem like it. I think... Okay, hold on. I'm drinking some agüita. I'm drinking some water. Okay, we're back. So this is by Abraham. I don't think, well, I don't know if he uses the mirror tool. I think he just has a really well-defined cartoony style. Very pop. Reminds me a lot of vector art. Some inspirations. Abraham, if you're into arts like that, you should look into Charuca Vargas. Right? Vector artist with very strong cartoony art. She actually has this book that's called I Love Kawaii. It completely changed my life. I had this book in middle school. I bought it and it completely, like, it's everything I ever want to be as a graphic designer by trade and an illustrator by choice, right? You should look into all of these poppy styles. I really... Hey, poppy. Like pop Y. Pop Y styles. You should also be looking at Milk BBI for inspiration. Some of his older stuff, I think, because right now he's experimenting with a lot more like simple shapes and stuff. But his older stuff also used to be this really striking cartoony style, very popular. Who else? Oh, like this, for example, right? His characters are like super striking, really good for like a brand or merchandising, kind of as iconic. It's what you want in a brand, right? Something iconic, something that people can look at, recognize it, and go, wow, that's really cute. I love vector art. I'm trying to learn Adobe Illustrator. Great! When I first started using Adobe Illustrator, it was really funny because I hated it. And then I just kind of grew into it. Another amazing artist is Tokidoki with vector art, right? All of these characters, again, that are like super pop and like they come out of the screen, very recognizable shapes. They have a bunch of little like toys and plushies, and it's awesome, right? You should be looking into artists like this for inspiration. That's just a recommendation, right? So that you can play around more with like shapes and characters, right? Vector, like from Despicable Me. Yes! Vector art is one done by... It's graphically represented in your computer, but it's actually just a bunch of math. It's a bunch of graphs. So what happens is that when you print it, or when you try to like make merch of it, or make it in big scale or something, it never goes blurry. I think the problem is those hairs that I probably messed up. That could be, it's part of it, I think. Now, what I think is happening here, Abe, is that your characters are not, like, differentiated enough. And I'm not talking only about the hair, I'm also talking about the face, right? And in these artists that I shown you, right, they have, like, the same kind of eyes, but there's still something different about them, whether it's where, in this case, the eyelash is at, or their colors, right? I guess the hair, yeah, the hair as well. Milk BBI as well is like the clothes and the hair and stuff, right? Even though they all have the same face. So yeah, actually it's just playing a little bit more with the clothes. If you're gonna make all of your characters having the same face part of your brand, right? Like Milk BBI or like Tokidoki. Toki. Right? These horses have the same eyes, right? Some of them have no eyelash and stuff. Just play a little bit with it, right? In this case, for example, we have MC and Monica. I think a very easy thing that you could do is add a little bit of like an eyelash on Monica, right? In a pop style. It doesn't have to be, you know, a bunch of eyelashes or anything. Just something clear. It's just something that in shape differentiates him from MC immediately, and you can see it already working. And all we did was draw a little bit of an eyelash. The thing with these styles is that when you put them in grayscale, you can put any drawing in grayscale by painting a white layer on top and then putting that layer on color mode. The thing that we want here is that every time we do something with these characters, with this style that's supposed to be iconic. Oh, hi, Shrimp. Oh, hello, Resortito. Welcome. They should be able to differentiate themselves really easily and like a first glance. Again, refresh your eyes. Look at this like how someone who's scrolling their Twitter is gonna look at it, right? They're gonna probably like scroll and they're gonna be like scrolling, and they suddenly come to your drawing and they go like, okay, that's cute, and they're gonna keep scrolling. Why? Because the differences are not obvious enough. In this kind of style, what you have to do is exaggerate. Since everything is so simple, everything is simplified, right? You have to do way more with your shapes to differentiate your characters. In here, for example, we have two little characters that is like a cow and like a bull, right? And not only are they different in colors, their eye shapes are a little bit different. Their horns, their ears, right? And the clothes that they have. But it's like super obvious and super immediate, even though they kind of share the same body structure. These difference, the fact that the horns are way bigger, the fact that the ears are a little bit slimmer, the fact that they have a cape that's like covering part of their body silhouette and stuff, you have to make them really, really obvious in your art if that's what you're gonna go for. In this case, for example, you can make the fact that I know this is trying to go with like the games, maybe like how is it, like canon appearance, right? That the bows are really small and MC's tie is like tucked into his vest and stuff. Again, go away from your reference, right? Take a step back from your reference and think, what do you want to do? What's the message you want to give? And what's the impact that you're trying to do, to have with your art, right? I would make MC's tie completely obvious, right? We're making the difference between these two characters that have the same shape build. We're marking them and we're making them super obvious for anyone who's watching, so that even from far away from here, they can tell what the difference is, right? And we make the lines, right? The super harsh, but very iconic lines. And with Monica, it's the same thing, right? Let me duplicate this and rasterize it. And we're gonna draw it on top. We're gonna get rid of this bow. At first, because we're gonna make it way larger to make it super obvious to whoever's watching that this is Monica and MC, right? Don't be afraid of straying away from your reference. Don't be afraid of making something new, because that's the whole point. You know, that's why I'd like to think that you're drawing, because you want to see how these things look in your own shape language, in your own world, in your own mind, right? I guess the faces are probably a problem that I tried my best. No, the faces are fine. Like I said, there's a lot. You're not the only artist that has that uses the same faces, right? It's same face when you're doing a style like this that's cartoony and iconic is not a problem at all. Like I said, Milk BBI has exactly the same face. Right? For all of his characters, this one's literally copy-paste. Right? Same face syndrome happens when you try to do more elaborate drawings, right? And something like this or something like this is not your goal, right? But I look at your drawing and I immediately think of these, right? The thick lines, the cartoony style, the same face. I think you have something really strong going on here that if you shape it well, it reminds me a lot of the Hatsune Miku illustrations. I don't know if you... The illustrations, the animations. Hatsune Miku. You can call me Miku. Aha. This one. Right? Everyone knows this style. Everyone has seen these little animations. There's one with Miku. There's one with Neru, right? They all have the same face. They just change a little bit of the shape and stuff. Their animation is the same. And it's iconic. Absolutely iconic. This part, you can call me Miku and stuff. It's insane, right? So same, and the artist that's doing these drawings is not using, you know, very elaborate faces, very elaborate hair shapes. What they're doing is banking in on that iconicism of, you see it, very strong shape language, and you know, people will recognize it immediately, and it's gonna be liked by a bunch of them, by everyone, right? It's like having a brand. I don't think that your drawing here where they have like the same faces or anything is bad. I think you just need to play around with the other shapes a little bit. Like I said, let's make MC's tie way more like obvious, and let's make Monica's bow way more obvious as well. I think you have something really wonderful going on here. I don't know if this is what you're looking for with your art. I would tell you, do not disregard it just because it's not something like super anime or, you know, super cartoon, Disney cartoon and stuff. What you're doing here is called like iconicism. You can look at a bunch of artists for reference. It's not wrong for you to like and to replicate the same face. You just have to know how to use it to your advantage, right? Keep looking on it. Iconicism. It's what Sanrio has. It's what Chikawa has. It's what a bunch of these little mascots have, right? And now they're super different, even from afar. Just by doing the tie and the stuff. Now, again, strong shape language. You're putting a lot of detail down here, but not a lot of detail here. This is good when you're doing like normal anime art, but if you're trying to go for iconicism, strong shape language. Let's modify this to be, let's bring out like a picture of how DDLC MC looks like. He has, oh, but I know, but this is your own MC character, right? So let's not look at reference actually. Let's not look at reference. Let's just draw him a new hair. Something that's a little bit more iconic, recognizable. Again, looking at our references. Strong shape language means there's not a lot of detail, but it's something that you recognize immediately from the silhouette, right? So we're gonna get rid of some of these spikes here. We're gonna make... I would make it a little bit more round, just to go with the head, right? Something like this. So we go all the way from here. And we just choose some of the key shapes. Like this, for example. And like this. Right? And we have this again. And maybe one like this. And we keep going with the hair. And another one here. This is deliberate. I'm choosing which shapes are the most important and which ones can be simplified. This one, for example, we have two of the same. Let's just make one big one. This one again, we have two of the same. We can just make one big one. And this one again, we have two of the same. We can make one big one like this, right? And we go from this to this, which is also way easier to tell, to see. Bam, 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 bam. Song is buzzing. Buzzing the song. And I am filling the color right here. This style is so cute. Yeah, I really like it as well. Like I said, because it reminds me to all of these very iconic like styles. That's the thing, right? Like very, very cool, very fun, very kawaii. Right? Like what they think kawaii is. Way more obvious, if only I would. And let's get rid of these back part of the hair. Now, something to do with Poppy, with pop, like these styles. I keep saying Poppy. I'm not name dropping myself, I swear. The use of the airbrush is not strictly forbidden, but it's only gonna be for details. Things like clothes, things like effects that you might want to give. But you should not be using it for your backgrounds. Your background should be just as, not detailed, but just as strong. Like, they cannot be fuzzy or blurry. They have to be clean lined, right? Milky PI eventually started exploring with like airbrusher and stuff. It's really good style. I would recommend that you start with something like this, right? Very iconic, very strong, no blurry, no, all of it is strong pieces. In Doki Doki, you can see it too. The clouds and the background is all very clear, not done with an airbrush, it's done with a normal brush, right? So that's also something else that I would do. Is for your background. Oh, the music stopped. Let me put on something else. Let's do lo-fi. For your background, stick with strong shapes. So we're gonna be doing the sun and the clouds and all of this with a hard brush. Oopsies. Okay. Looks like I have to be more careful than I thought. The cool thing is that I can just do this. Aha. Ahahaha. One tool comes to the rescue. Why don't we want fuzzy edges? Because it doesn't look like it belongs with the drawing. It kind of like steals away the attention. And that's not something we want when you have your pop iconic cartoony style, right? You want it to be recognized by people immediately, and you want your characters to be the very first ones to be seen by others, right? So we make all of this, but we make it with a hard brush. Take a look at the kind of colors that these people are using too. Very bright, very cool, but also not overly saturated, right? So we can go with a yellow that's not all the way here full yellow, but it's around here. And we draw the sun, which was over here. Right? And then we can do the clouds. Again, very well-defined clouds. Now, you might think, you might look at this and say, oh, but this looks amateur. It looks like I'm not actually learning how to draw. And to that I say, don't hold yourself to the standards of other people. If this is the art that you like to draw it. Don't be like, my art is better or worse than others. You just draw what you like. I'm just adding a bunch of clouds because I like them. Right? And then we end up with the grass at the bottom. Not the grass again. We're not going all the way here. We're staying around here. Why? It's just to protect the eyes of your viewer. if you use a lot of saturated colors, it might hurt them when they look at your drawing, so your drawing might not be seen a lot. In this case, for example, if we go back to our grayscale look, the blue and the green are too similar, so let's make the green a little bit more dark. Around here, right? It even has like another look already. I can tell, I can hear that. Preach, preach, preach. Preaching, preaching. Just draw what you like. You'll find your niche. If all of these artists manage to get as popular as they did drawing whatever they liked, you can do too, right? Don't feel pressured to draw super elaborate, super realistic. Draw what makes you happy. Draw what you like. Who cares? Another thing that these artists have is that their backgrounds, at least for Tokidoki, they're very maximalist, right? Maximalist, it means that they fill up the page as much as they can. There is no blank space. You can try that in your drawings, or you can go something like PPI, which is like super low-key, you know, not a lot of effects and stuff. You can see that they use a soft brush, airbrush here, but like again, it's just for details. They're not drawing shapes with it. It's just for the background color. It can be however you want. For this one that we're doing, I think we can leave it like this, right? I think we can make the blue a little bit more, how is it, more pastel-y? Aha, like this. Just so that it doesn't fight too much. Again, if you saturate all of your colors, it's gonna be hard for the viewer to look at anything at all because it's too overwhelming. And let's make your yellow, well, the sun a little bit brighter. Like this. Yay! Super cute. You can even draw, like, there's this person, how's he called? The flowers, the funny little flowers. The funny Japanese flowers illustration. I can't believe I forgot. It's Murakami. Aha, Takashi Murakami. Takashi Murakami. Right? He loves drawing flowers. This is another iconic kind of style. Right? With the strong shapes and all of the colors and stuff. You can grab little things like that you like. He's even collaborated with Lee Vuitton and stuff. This little flower has become so iconic. You guys probably know it as Saucy or something like that. His style focuses a lot on anime and how it's affected Japan. Not in a good way most of the time. But his flowers are always a treat to do. So I would like to do, and look how he makes like a garden here with his flowers. I think you can totally do that in here with the background, right? Let's make some cool flowers here. All sizes, all shapes. Let's put them on top of the clothes, of the clouds. Right? Let's look at the shapes, right? Strong shape language. He's not doing this, he's doing this. Right? Let's try to do some. All of this is shape language and exaggeration, right? It's simplification. It's a lot of things that you can do. And then we can make them, I don't know, to go with the yellow, I think we can make them like sunflowers. That would be cute, right? We put the middle thing. And then with the yellow, let's make it a little bit higher. And let's just draw a bunch of like the little petals of the sunflower. Well, a little bit more careful than that. The problem with this style, and I say problem, but it's not necessarily a problem. It's more of a workflow. The thing that's going on with this style is that everything has to be clean and measured, right? You cannot just do your petals like this. In order for it to look good, you have to carefully craft all of your petals. And this is when, this is where you shouldn't underestimate this drawing style, right? Because it asks a lot. Look at this, like I ran out of space for the petals. So let's make one like this size and then the other one this size, right? Do not underestimate this style because it's really hard to get it to look like symmetrical all the time. And I know you probably use a lot of stabilizer and stuff. That's perfect. If you can see here that my petals are a little bit shaky, right? And we make our petals with our flower and we're having fun. This actually looks, I don't like how it looks. Okay, sorta kinda. Imagine that they're perfect. And we can just go, the cool thing is that we can just go with the bucket tool and fill it up. Let's put a tolerance of 80. Use. Right, and we're painting our flowers, our petals. This kind of style you'll see a lot. It's very popular in Japan. It's very popular in China. I can look for more references for you, for more artists, and I can share them with you. So you can see if it's something, if it's what you like. Right? All of this has to have like a black outline as well. This is also the cool part of learning more art styles, right? Like just learning more about art in general. I would have not known about this if I wasn't curious and, you know, about this type of style and why it's so popular in Japan and why it's so well liked by everyone. This is one of these styles that's harmless, I think, and that you always are gonna be able to find fans for it. Like this. Right? And we have like a cute little field and stuff. And now this hair is, like you said, we have to make Monica's hair way more iconic, way easier to read. Right? Let's name this background. And we're gonna delete most of her hair. We're gonna leave her bald. I really like how you did the hair tendrils that she has on the front. But this back of the hair kind of doesn't make sense with the shape of her head and stuff. So we're gonna look at what we can do with here. Ah, all right. She's bald, bald, bald. Let's actually make it a layer. Layer, new, cut. Yeah, like this. Like this. Draw what makes me happy. I guess that makes a bit of... I tried to make your hair a little bit accurate. Baldica. Time for Baldica. Let's complete some of her other shapes here, you know, that got deleted by us doing this. Like her blazer. I'm trying my best to emulate your very cool, strong lines. And I'm having a really hard time because it's not something that I usually do. Like I said, everyone watching this, if you want to try it, you know, have a go at it yourself, you're going to be able to see how complicated it is, how much time it takes you to decide where to place a line or not. Just because it looks simple, it doesn't mean that it's easy. If anything, most simple art styles are the hardest because behind that, every line is a conscious choice. Every time they're sketching, every time they're doing anything at all, they're not just going, oh yeah, the hair can be like this and this and this, right? Like how I would usually go at it, for example, right? They wouldn't go like, oh yeah, and I just have to make a lot of little things like this and stuff. No, everything is a conscious choice from I have to go like this and then do 3 of this and I connect it and stuff. Every line takes like thrice as long as a normal like line from an anime artist. Do not underestimate it. Do not underestimate it. Okay, we've completed our blazer. Let's make Monica's hair. Again, we have to follow the shape of the head, right? We have to imagine. And this is just because it's shape language, right? It's gonna be easier for people to read, and then you're gonna know where to place things. I don't know if you're drawing the head completely like this before you draw hair, but I highly recommend you to do it because it's going to help you know where to place the hair. Now this is just a guideline, and we're going to start going with the hair. I really like this one that you did like this. It's already like super simplified for Monica. Her bangs, right? And cutting into her eye here. And then like this. This is perfect. This is awesome. Now for her hair tendrils, you have one that goes in front of her shoulder and one that goes behind. I would choose either both behind or both in front. I need to head out. Have fun with the rest of the stream, Anita. Thank you, lad. Thank you so much for joining. A lot of this style is based on symmetry, as you've seen, right? So I think you should decide whether or not, like in here, all of the hair is in front, right? The ears are on the back and stuff, things like that. You need to decide in terms of symmetry. I would put them all the way in the front. And careful again with your shape language, because this is kind of like it's too big. It doesn't tell us what it is, right? So I would go something a little bit more like this. That doesn't end very complicated, right? That doesn't have so many spikes at the bottom. Again, simplify, learn, process, and simplify. So we're gonna put one of her cat ears. Oh, we can even do it from the top. Also, I just noticed that we missed this part of her bangs. This is adorable. I think this is perfect how you have it. The bangs are incredible already, right? And now what we need to do are her cat ears. Again, we have to decide whether we want the cat ears on top or front. I would start, since I see that you put the cat ears a little bit behind, or that you're trying to catch them up with how you put them on. Start with the cat ears. Again, shape language. Make them go above. Make them go above and beyond the... there we go. Above and beyond the shape so that they can be read. So that they're more clearer. And we complete the shape and we make it not that complicated. Right? Something like this. And we erase, you know, what's gonna go behind this part of the hair. But it goes in front of her shoulder. This and like this. And again. Go at it. We have to be very careful that they are around the same height. They end up around the same place. And then we connect it again. Again, something not that complicated, something that's easy to read for the people looking at it. And finally, you know, we can add the back of her head. If you notice, you drew the back of her head way over here, when in reality, if the circle is here, it would be around here. Like this, not that high and not that to the side. And we can draw her bow. Her bow, you had it really nice, right? Just going out. Trying to make it the same on both sides. And the inside of it, right? And then you also had part of the lace. Now, I would not make it the same or even longer as the hair. I don't know if that was like a preference that you had for it. But for it to not fight with each other, so that people do not have to like duplicate attention, like pay attention to them both, I would play with contrast in shapes. Some are longer, some are shorter, right? If you make them all the same, it's gonna be boring. It's gonna look boring to the eye, and people are not gonna be able to look at it the same way. So let's make something short, and that ends in a square, right? Like this, maybe. And then you have her ponytail. Now, if we look at Monica DDLC, her ponytail actually pops out of the back of her head, right? It's like, it's so high, it pops out from there. So it wouldn't hide behind here. It would be something around here. So let's make that. Let's make those lines here. And I'm just gonna try and follow what you had here already. You know, for the ponytail. Like this. And then like this. Right? We can go all the way at the bottom. Doesn't really matter. And we erase the parts where it collides with other lines. And now we color it. We're gonna hide this one. We're gonna hide our head guideline. And we're gonna color it. Adam Popidoru. Hello, KK. How are you? These are lines for the hair. I still need the color that you use here. And we're just coloring what we just did with the hair. What the heck? Why is it coloring the same? And then we're gonna have to manually color the ponytail. That's okay, that's fine. Haven't heard of anyone calling me that before. I think you prefer to be called Ko, right? I blanked. I just see KK. And I go, oh yeah, KK. KK flick. Goes hard. Tough. I forgot to erase one of these. Like this. So what we're doing here is just grabbing the hair shapes, and we make them way more recognizable. Way easier to read to the eye, and that they call out to the original character more. They reference the character a little more, but still in a very cute and stylized way. Oh, oh my god. And we need to finish coloring the face. I'm just noticing that I'm erasing the eyebrows. No, the eyebrows. I'll draw them back in. I'll draw them back in. Don't panic. Don't panic. There you go. So cute. And MC also needs some eyebrows, I think. I erased one of them. We make the shapes way more obvious. At the background, let's draw a little bit more. Let's color a little bit more of this. Oops. Or clouds. I left one cloud with a hole here. You know, you can... The cool thing about this art style is you can learn to do many different types of stuff. Finals are coming next week, so I can't do anything other than suffer. Don't suffer, don't suffer. Right, so go a little bit, define whether you want to do maximalism or pastel colors. Be careful with simplifying your shapes, make your characters stand out by shapes that they have that are different, right? Just like how we learned from artists like Miku BBI and Tokidoki, right? And Takashi Murakami. Play a little bit more with that. Don't be afraid to try your best to do what you want. Don't feel pressured by other artists who are drawing different from you. That should not deter you at all. If you want, like, it kind of like look into the iconic style. Iconic graphic design style and illustration, vector art, lots of like vector branding and things like that. And kind of like define what you want your style to be like, what you want your drawings to communicate, what's the visual language that you're going to use for your shapes so that you can repeat them all the time, like how they're doing it in Tokidoki, right? And become iconic because of that. It becomes your own brand, it becomes your own personal signature, right? Don't be afraid to play with colors, to play with a bunch of characters, play with shapes, play with anything, objects, anything you may ever want or like, right? And just go for it. Don't let anyone tell you that, you know, drawing the same kind of like base is wrong, because here's the big proof that there's artists out there doing quote unquote same face, right? But they're doing so many amazing things with it. So awesome and so iconic, right? Don't let anyone tell you that that's your problem and that you need to draw different. You just have to kind of like settle into what you're drawing and discover more of yourself and what you like so that you're able to put it in your drawings. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You could also experiment with more saturated colors, like, you know, Milk PBI uses muted colors, but it's like the same color palette. Doki uses a bunch of colors, and they're all very colorful, but not extremely saturated, right? They're just colorful enough around this side of the color spectrum. I don't know if you're seeing my cursor move in the color part. Around this side. Never go to the extremes. This side is like the safe part for saturated colors. All of this. So yeah, you know, don't get discouraged. Keep trying, keep doing your best. Make your characters differentiate each other from little variations in shapes, and just have fun. That's all there is to it. Just have fun. Thank you so much, Abraham. Let's see how it ended up. Again, we didn't change much here because this drawing already has a very styled, a very recognizable style, right? All you need to do is to like decide really what you want. If you want to do anime art or if you want to do something iconic, learn more from it, learn more about it, and apply it to your own drawings. Again, expand your visual library, because that's how you're going to be able to draw from imagination and to draw literally how you see the world. This is the before, and this is the after. Simple shapes, no gradients or soft blurs or the spray function thing, the airbrush. It makes the image look blurry, right? And be careful with your shapes so that they read like the character and that they follow at least a little bit of logic, right? Don't put a lot of unnecessary detail. Try to simplify to the most that you need. And it's gonna be read better, right? Thank you so much, Abraham, for your submission. I hope we all learned something new as well. You know, this was a very different submission from the ones that we've had, which are usually like anime style with the anatomy and stuff. There is way many more art styles. You just have to find what you like and how you want to draw. Again, the first step is that you like your drawing. You like what you're creating. And from then on, anything else that you can learn is vanity. It's just growth, exponential growth. Thanks again for having 300 followers on Twitter. That makes me happy about it. Oh, congratulations on your 300 followers. I hope you get many, many more. Now, especially that, you know, we learned some more about iconic art styles with the thick and the same repetition of shapes. Maybe you can like ease in more into your brand. I should do my best about it. You can do it, man. You can do it. Next drawing. My claps. Next drawing. I had to take off my glove again. we have this submission by Solis Crown. He says that this is a drawing that he did a few years ago as a commission, actually. You know, I think it says a lot that the commissioner was really happy about it. I really like the composition is very sweet, right? You can tell your style from it. The lighting is really good. Your values are really well taken care of, right? The sun is the thing that pops out, and then the characters as well, and everything else doesn't. You know, things like that. I think this is a really cute drawing. So, what can we do better about it? In here, I think what maybe could elevate your drawing a bit more is the pose of this lady right here. It's not that the pose that she has is bad, right? I love that she's surrounded by what I suppose is like her boyfriend or her love interest, right? I think it's a very sweet way of like embracing the person that he loves, right? His body goes around like this, around her. Like holding her, right? Without actually using his arms. And he's offering a rose that looks just like what she has on. I think it's really sweet, right? The setting and everything. Now, what is up with her pose? Like I said, it's not a bad pose, but it looks like it makes sense that he's leaning back because it doesn't look like he has legs and it doesn't look like he has a pelvis, right? So him sitting down would probably look really weird and probably kill him, like a fish, right? You cannot really, if you have a fish or someone with a fish tail, right? And you have your fish and you try like sitting it down, it's gonna do this thing, right? It's not gonna actually do this, like how legs do in the body, right? Is a person. It's not gonna do that hard angle, that hard tilt with the legs. It's gonna like bounce like that. But she has no reason to be leaned back like that. Oops. Right? In here it makes sense because he's trying to lay down and he's surrounding her. He's supporting his body from here and he's offering her the rose. But she looks like she's actually leaning away from him. Right? What if we made her so that she's leaning in? Maybe to like smell the rose or something. He would need to lower his arm a little bit, right? Just making the connection between the characters more obvious. And again, just grabbing what we have, you know, looking at this with fresh eyes and seeing, I think I could make this more romantic, right? Because the way that she's standing, that she's sitting down, she's like, you know, don't touch me, right? When two people, I think, right? In movies and stuff and in real life, when two people love each other, they love being close to each other, right? They look at each other and they hold each other, right? Like this. When two people hate each other or they don't like each other, what they do, it's something very comical, right? We've seen in cartoons and stuff. They go like this, like as far away as they can. They literally lean like super far back, like, ew, no, stay away from me, right? And again, the male character here, the cool ass fish, makes sense because he can't sit down normally. He has a big tail and he has to curve, or if not, his spine is gonna break and he's gonna die. But she is leaning back too, so let's just make her lean in a little more. Right? Like she's into it. Like she's good. She's happy to see him. Like she wants to be closer. Maybe she's reaching out for a kiss. She's reaching in for a kiss, or she's reaching in to smell the flower. Right? He has her embraced with his tail. It's the evening. Right? They're watching the sun go down, and it's a very romantic moment. And it looks like it's a picnic on the beach and everything. Ah, so romantic, so wonderful. Make her lean into it. You know, don't make her stay away. Don't make her go away. So let's do that. Let's duplicate this. Rasterize our layer. You know what they say, when there's sparks in the sky at night. Yeah, exactly. Right? You have to think about the moment your characters are having as well. I think that's also the cool part of being an artist, is that every drawing that you have, you can do it from the perspective of your characters. What are they feeling? What are they supposed to be feeling? Is it a sad moment? Is it a happy moment? What are they thinking, right? About what this other character is doing, or about what they're doing, what's going through their head. Getting into the mindset of your characters is gonna help you push the romantic, the emotional feeling even more with every drawing that you have. Especially when you're doing drawings like this, which is 2 characters. What you want is that it looks like they're interacting, right? Which is like one of the hardest parts of doing drawings that feature more than one more than one person, right? It's not only that they have to look good by themselves, but they have to look like they're actually in the same room together, enjoying a moment or talking or things like that, right? So what we're doing right now is we're cutting her out of the background. And again, this drawing style, I've known Solis for years now. He's actually the one that told me that my wife liked me online. He was kind of like my wingman in that regard, in that sense. We've been friends for so many years. I've seen his drawings from all the way back in 2019. And now that it's 2026, and I'm so happy to learn that he's still drawing and creating. Solis, if you're here, Leafo, my leaf. I am so happy that I can still be your friend. And that I still get to see how you create, and that you're here trying to also better yourself in that regard. It's awesome. His style is already super defined. He has clients. He has had clients for years, very loyal clients, right? So this is not a problem, again, like the other submissions. This is not a problem of you're drawing bad, right? Or this is not how this is drawn, or things like that. This is a matter of how can I elevate my art now that I'm looking at it with fresh eyes? What else can I do now that I'm already here, established, and I like what I draw? That's the whole point. Layer, new layer, cut. We've successfully cut her out of the background. Here. Yeah. There she is. So what we're gonna do again is just modify the pose a little bit. Shrimp-tastic moment, heartwarming story. Oh yeah. You know I'm all about heartwarming. Heartwarming. Right? Make her lean into it. She's happy. Even maybe, like, for example, here she's like resting her weight on the picnic blanket on the floor. Why doesn't she rest her weight maybe on his tail, right? Like a form of like showing love, like when you're with your partner driving and they hold your knee, right? Or in movies where they are sitting next to each other and they hold their hand or they hold their arm, things like that, right? Just those little terms, those little showings of affection that are not outright holding hands or kissing, right? Just acknowledging, I know you're here and I'm happy you're here with me, right? So let's do that. Let's move her closer because she's happy to be with him. And her weight, right? Instead of resting by on the picnic blanket on the floor, we can make her rest on him. I think it would have to be something a little bit more like, I'm gonna have to break the arm in two if I wanna do that, right? It should be like this, right, all the way here, and then maybe like this, right? And now she's caressing him. She's holding her weight thanks to him, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's also a cute little like thing to add to the story, right? Her dress and the things are gonna, these like lace thingies can expand a little. We have to make up for the fact that we broke her arm into a little. her hand pose would probably be a little bit different, right? Let's try a 4. Yeah. Right, since she's resting her weight like this now. Something like this, like she's touching him or something. Or maybe the opposite, right? She's caressing him from here. Like she's putting her weight here. And she's using her hand to like push against him so that she can lean in a little closer or something like that. Really hard to see with all of the stuff that I have going on here. Right, let's make something like this, I think. Again, we're just doing it really fast. It's just an idea. Ideally, you would do it better than me. I think for this to work, she has to be a little bit standing, like leaning forward a little bit like this. Yeah, just like that. Every time I had to draw hands like this on the spot, I panic. And I'm not able to draw them very well. I think I'm gonna stay with the one that's like this. Maybe a little awkward, but I trust that you're able to make it work a little better. But you know, you get what I mean. Just pushing the pose, making it more romantic. She's holding herself in him, with him. And it's oh so lovely. Oh, so full of love and affection. She's getting closer to him now. Because that's what people in love do. They want to get closer to each other. Even this hand, for example, like I know that maybe it's because she's like, oh wow, she's doing the he's so thoughtful and so dreamy. Like you're trying to woo me. Sorry, I moved my mic. You're trying to woo me with a rose. How cute of you. We have to be careful in here that some of the parts of her characters don't like interfere with each other. So I would just make this one a little bit higher up like this. So that it doesn't it doesn't cover his face too much. Like this, right? And now there's space between them. And I would make his arm be a little bit more inside because he's showing her the rose a little closer now. Right? She's not moving away. She's in love with him and he wants to show her the rose layer. Nope. Layer, new, layer, via copy. Layer, new, via, no, via cut. Gonna move it around here. Like the rose now kind of doesn't work. Let's make it work. Let's make it work. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I think like this. Like this works fine. And now he's not showing it to her, but he's holding it. He's holding it like we know it's for her. She knows it's for her. Right? That's part of it. He's kind of putting the rose between them. But she's not interested in the rose this time. Right? Like in the other drawing. She's not looking... She's not looking at the rose. She's looking straight at him. Like telling him, yeah, I know you got me this rose, but the rose is not the cool part here. The rose is not the part that the thing that makes me fall in love with you. It's you being here with me. You see what I mean? It's just grabbing that emotional message and running with it. Absolutely running with it. Be in the shoes of your characters. What did they like? What would they like? What did they want? Right? What's happening at this moment? How are they feeling? What are they thinking? All of that. All of that is important. Oh, it's because I have it in behind. All of that is absolutely important when you're doing a drawing like this. I'm just fading a little bit of the background. We have to complete the picnic thing too. Making up for the shadow and stuff. Lines of the picnic. The picnic cloth, the picnic... How do they call it? Like a picnic rug? Picnic blanket. Yeah, I remembered. I remembered. I remembered. And a little bit here. Need to erase all of the parts of the line art that I didn't graph correctly. so it can fill in the shapes better. We're just coloring again, coloring. Again, we're making her be like super close. That's the whole idea. It's a romantic evening. They're both having fun. And they're both loving it. Just completing these for the sake of like optics, I guess, so that it's easy to read. So that you guys don't get lost in the background once we're finished with it and stuff. I think his abs go down a little bit more like this. Her hair as well. Oh, so many things to fix. Man, I want to go to the beach so bad. That'd be so good. Wouldn't it? Just being like this with the person you love most in the world. Doesn't matter if it's romantic or if it's family. Just being in a place like this. All calm, all quiet. So happy. Yeah, sorta kinda. I think something like this looks okay. Mine it's a little bit bigger. And now for her legs, again, you know, she's not like pushing back. She's enjoying the moment. She's relaxing herself. What I would do maybe is bend them behind her. Layer, new layer be a cut. Cut off her legs. And what I would do is make her do something like this. Oh, we need to move her pelvis a little bit. She's kind of too high. Like this. Aha. Need to move this part of her legs as well. Her pelvis. Right, she's leaning into the moment. She's happy being here with him. He's not going anywhere. And neither is he. Hello there. Oh, hi, Rodrigo. Welcome. And she's so not going anywhere that she has her legs tucked behind her. She's gotten comfortable. She loves being here with him. That's a 7. Keep forgetting. Oh, the music stopped. There. This music is really good for the mood, eh? She is sitting down with him. Loves where she's at, and she's not gonna move from her spot. And you can tell because she's gotten very comfortable with her legs behind her. If you want to show a little bit more leg, you could also do something like this, right? Where her leg is kind of like going off to the side like this. Like this. I think actually that's more like romantic and like sexy. So let's do that instead. I like that more. Where did I draw the legs? I like this way more. Nice art. Yeah, I really like this piece, like I said. I think it's really cute, very romantic. All we're doing right now is pushing the romanticism so that it's thick and super sweet to look at. That's how people should feel, right? Their love is like no other in the world. And they know it, and they flaunt it. And now even if you want to be, a little bit more romantic or spicy and stuff. This, I'm not sure how the character is, her personality, right? She looks like someone very serious and reserved. But she's dating this giant shark guy. So she strikes me as someone who knows what she wants. You know, like she knows what she wants and she doesn't want another human. So she's got to be daring in that way, right? So instead of her arm being on her chin like this, there'd be a cut. How about we make her, touch his abs a little bit. With endearment, of course, right? Just her hand on his chest. Right? It's nothing like morboso, nothing too like bad or anything. Right? She's not trying to start something with him. She's just holding him and being like, hey, I'm here with you and I love you. And then this hand, we can move it because now we have two hands touching him and that's a little bit too much. I think I like this one better where she's touching his chest. Right? And she's like, hey, I love being here with you. I don't care about the rose that you have. I care about you. You're the reason why we're here. You're the reason why I'm here. Right? Having such a nice time on this beach. It's because of you that we're here together today. I know you're trying to do something nice for me with that. Right? With the rose. But I don't care about the rose. And let's move this arm. We can move it back to where it was. And let's erase this part too. Like this. And let's draw her other arm. And now she can have her weight resting on this arm. Or she could even be on her lap and stuff. Back from praying Mina the Hollower. Oh, hello, Solis. We were just talking about your drawing. About how to make it more romantic. And really take advantage of the setting and the situation. We're making her move closer to him. Have her hand on his chest. She's comfortable. She's leaning towards him, not behind. Because it's something that I noticed in your original drawing. She was like this. We're making her lean forward a bit more. You know, to make sure that she's having fun and she's happy and that she wants this. She wants to be with him at this very moment in time. She's already gotten comfortable with her legs. She's happy being here with him. Let's draw the rest of her hair as well. And let's make this truly a very magical romantic moment. I think I showed this to you, but couldn't be fucked to actually fix it at the time. Well, yeah, back then I was thinking you wanted more help on the anatomy and stuff. But right now, since you already have your established style, and I've also learned a little bit more, we're going full storytelling. Your art, there's nothing wrong with it. You have a very well-defined style, right? Like how we talked about in the other drawings as well. All we're doing is moving some things around so that the drawing has more of the storytelling that we want. Storytelling, exactly. It's always storytelling, man. Always, always, always. Because if not, what's the point of creating? What's the point of showing things to people if you don't have a story to tell, right? What's the point of uploading it anywhere? It's because you want them to see it, because you want them to see how hard you thought of this, how it looks in your mind, how this and how that, right? Don't be afraid of it. Darn that storyteller. Never escape them. Storytelling. So much storytelling. Like the TED meme. Are you what they call a storyteller? I wish I think I'd like to be. Yeah. I'd love to be a storyteller. You know, and now it's like she's brushing off the rose that he brought her. And she's like, never mind that. I am interested in you. I want to see you and I want to be with you. I would add her, but this is my personal preference. I love a little bit of blush. Especially when it's little romantic scenes like that. Like this, right? I love having some blush. And him too, even though he's like a sea creature. Maybe it's too anime on my part. Maybe it's too much. But I love it. I love it. Got that uwu blush. Exactly, exactly. The silly blush. Well, it looks like they're being silly together. I mean, she's with this like big ass shark man, right? She knows what she wants and it's not a normal human. We mentioned that before. Like, she knows exactly what she wants. So she's probably very sure in her decision. Where did I draw this parts with the sun and stuff? Where is it? Oh, it's like behind. Now let's draw it on top. We're daring today. And they're just having such a lovely evening by the sea. And I'm thinking a lot about what Abe said a little bit ago, right? To put a little bit more ambience into this. Let's make the colors, even though, you know, this sunset at the beach looks really nice like this. Let's draw this color here, right? And the clouds, right? I think we can add a little bit of glisten to like the water and stuff, like to make it look really, really magical. We can totally do something like that. To make it look like a magical moment where the sun is going down. And they're both enjoying themselves so much. And the water is glowing and make it purple, because purple is magic. We could! Yeah! Actually, mira, check this out. You mock me, but check this out. Purple would be maybe if it was like later at night, but we can give it a tinge of purple. Let's see how it looks. All right, that's part of it. Experimenting and seeing what happens. It'd have to be like a pinkish purple. Something around here. A little bit darker. A little bit more red, I think. For it to go, sorry, with the sunset look. Yeah, like this. And we add the little waves. We can add a little bit of foam. Not the hardness now, it's the flow. Aha. We can add a little bit of foam, right? The waves are like crushing against the shore here. And it's dragging. Right, look at that. Look at how pretty that looks. And yeah, we're doing the water purple now. We're doing the water purple. And it still looks like the seawater. You see? My genius is almost frightening. Yeah, we can add a little bit more of like the waves around. Now, if you look at water like this, the shines of it are going to be closer to where the sun is, and then they're going to start like dwindling a little bit further away. The thing with waves that a lot of people, you know, we draw them like this maybe at some point, like this. But the thing with the waves is that they're dragging. Right? It's the power of the water that's coming in and crashing down. So the wave is actually has to be like it's actually doing waves, right? Like it's coming, you know, it's gearing up like this, and then crashes down. So when it crashes down, everything else is like pushed inside, and that's what we're doing with these waves, like this, not like this, like this. The power of the ocean by Neptune's beard. And like I said, let's make it glisten a little more. How do we do this? We can add a little bit of a darker color. That's gonna sound counterintuitive, but it's like the dark shapes in the water, right? It's gonna make the light parts of the water that we have really pop up. You see it? You see it? You go like, oh wow, it actually looks like the sea now. And what have we done? Just a bunch of scribbles. This is what we did alongside with the wave shape, right? And now it looks like, oh, and now we can add a little bit of a lighter color, right? More saturated. Because that's how water works. Water reflects absolutely everything. And you go like, oh wow, the sea is so vast and beautiful. Truth Nook, I always ask a shrimp how to ocean. I had to learn how to ocean a while ago. Because I was working on a children's book and everything was like on pools. So I had to learn how to do water. And now, this is a very anime touch. So if you don't like it, don't listen to me. But I would add a bunch of glitter. I would add glitter to the water. Like actual like shines and stuff like this. Don't worry about it. We're gonna make them look a little better. right? The water is glistening and glowing. We're gonna lower the opacity. And we're gonna put an outer glow on it. You see that? You see it? Let's put it on linear dodge. Look at that sea. Look at that sea. I'd probably do that manually for the splashing droplets. Oh yeah, the splashing droplets would be awesome too. Let's do some... It kind of looks messy. Well, yeah, because the background in the end is not the... I'm doing it one really fast here, right? Like I said, I would hope that you were a little bit more careful. And two, the background is not really the focus here. It's the characters. We can, however, lower maybe some of the colors. Maybe some of the glisten. Maybe that's too much. Yeah, something like this. And we can do the droplets, like you said. Must go as fast as possible. Not that fast, but fast-ish maybe. Like, so everyone can like have their stuff. I would go for a splatter brush for the water splatter. Wow. Something like this. Just stream longer for our shrimp content. With one drawing? I'm not gonna redraw the entire thing for you. This is just tips. This is just tips, man. This is just a drawing tip. This is not, Poppy, redraw me this. Okay, and that's what we have with the sea right now. Sea. What else can we do? Well, obviously. I mean, again, I don't know. This is very much an anime thing. I don't know if you're gonna be into it, but I would add the cool anime orbs, like in Sailor Moon. A little bit brighter. Like in my Poppy drawing, exactly. They're having a nice moment on the beach. Right? Everything is glistening. And they're having a lot of fun. And they're with each other. That's totally my original idea. For real. And we can make some a little bit. I like to go ham with these. If they're not your thing, it's okay. You don't have to. But I really like it. And again, we add some glow to them. But adding the glow kind of messes them up, how they look on the inside. Maybe we can add a manual glow then. We grab a soft brush. And we put it not on screen, like other people might have you believe. You put it on linear dodge add. Like this. Look at that! Look at how cute! How romantic, too! We can make them even like a different color if we wanted to. I'm gonna name them bubbles. I'm gonna go with a hue saturation. Hue saturation? Yeah, hue saturation. And we create clipping mask. Then we click on colorize. And it doesn't work because they're white. Ha 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 ha. Well, no, we just have to go to the bubbles then. And make them maybe yellow, for example. Right? Like this. Ooh, look at that. How cute. But I feel like it fights too much with the sun. So maybe if we make them a little bit of a lighter yellow. Or maybe some orange. Orange, I don't like it much. It has to be like yellow or white. Something like this. Look at that. And the linear dodge also has to be that color. Right? Look at that. Look at how pretty. Where the lens flare. Okay, the lens flare is kind of too much now. And again, since the background is not the focus, we can totally just like... where did I put the C? Here, aha. And all of the characters here and stuff. Since the characters are the focus and not the background, right? Let's hide all of these. And we can blur a little bit. I like the sea here, for example, to really give it a cool effect. The sun and stuff. Where did I draw my suns here? Just, you know, just because we can. And yeah, this is probably what I would do if I was commissioned to draw this, or if you had come to me and asked me for help on like how to make this look a little better with fresh eyes, you know, then I'm not the one paid to draw this, so I know, you know, how to see it like this. Make him pink. That's too much. That's too much. We could. Okay, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Because we have a lot of colors here in our drawing. Maybe we can like even them out with something like this, and then on like a not BB light, something like overlay, I think. You see how the colors kind of like mesh together better now? Before, we had a cool scene. It does look a little bit dark and stuff. And after. And we can change the color of this overlay layer to something maybe like blue to make it a little bit more like how the original was, a little bit more moody, right? And we can change the color of it, like the brightness of it. I think I really like this one. Before and after. Before and after. And we can go also with some levels. The levels adjustment layer are to modify your contrast. You can make the slider all the way to the right is the lights, how light they are. The slider all the way to the left is how dark the darks are, and then the midtones are how light or how dark they are. So maybe we can make it a little bit less bright to kind of like keep a little bit of the moody part of the other thing. Of the other one, right? Before and after. Before and after. All of this is personal preference, of course. Make it an add layer. It'll be funny. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, really. Before and after. So yeah, this is what we have. This is what we started with, right? Like we said, lots of like, why is she... If this is supposed to be romantic, why is she leaning back? That's what you do when you don't like someone, right? Her legs, it looks like she just plopped down maybe from being on the beach or something. While he's like embracing her and already showing her a rose. It just looked like her heart's not in there, right? So we just made her a little bit more willing. She's very into it. Like I said, she is dating the shark man, right? She knows what it's like to date a human, probably. And she still prefers the shark man. She's a woman that knows what she wants, right? She's a woman that's just not gonna leave her shark man, even though he has to wear like a mask to be able to breathe on land and stuff. Big old Bruce. She knows what she wants. And she wants to be with him today in this beautiful like beach scene, right? Before, she's leaning back. We don't know how she's feeling about him and stuff. It's kind of like she's questioning him like, you really brought me a rose. And now, it's like, I don't care about the rose. I care about you. But even if you put them kind of like in sequence, it looks like maybe it tells a little story. Poppy keeps saying Sharkman like it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, you know, he's pretty monstrous for a Sharkman. Like he has no legs and stuff. Like in terms of like furries and stuff, he's like a fish. It's a lot. It's very brave to say that you love someone like that, isn't it? Like I'm a shrimp, but I don't have, you know, like the beady eyes and the tail and everything. But he does, and she still wants to be with him, right? We don't know the story. If we put them, shrimps talking bad about sharks. Listen, they're scary. They're scary. It looks like a little story. Like she's like, huh? So you brought me a rose. I don't care about the rose. I care about you. But you see the difference in like tone and like mood and everything? I guess it depends on what your commissioner wants and how they feel about their characters, right? But this is how you could do it a little bit more romantic, right? People that are in love with each other, they lean into each other. Maybe not always for a kiss, maybe just because they like being together, right? Just because you like that person and you want to feel special next to them. People who don't like each other will lean back, will go, ew, stay away, right? They go, no, I don't want to be with you and stuff. They push away. That's what she was doing right here. She's pushing away from him. Like I said, he's kind of pushing away, but it's understandable because he can't really sit well. He would break his spine, his shark spine. But she has no reason why, she has no excuse why she's like leaning away from him. Let's just make her move closer. Let's make her show that she's really into this shark man, you know? It's her shark man. And she doesn't care about the rose. She doesn't care about his attentions like that with her. She cares about him because she loves him. Yeah, I think this is a good moment to end the stream. Thank you to Fumi and Gabe. As always, the submissions that we didn't get to, we have one submission by Fumi and one submission by Gabe. The submissions that we didn't get to on this stream, we're going to keep them for next week. Right? So stay tuned for that. I forgot, I just realized to put the ad of Solis is ad Solis. Let me check actually. Aha, his ad is different from his from his actual like account. So his name, the name of this artist is Solis Ground. But his ad is actually at Sauce Seaboy. In case you want to go follow him and check him out. He's drawing a little bit more DDLC as well. Shake my head, scamming me already. No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So if you want to go follow him, you should follow him. Thank you so much, my shrimplings, for all of your amazing submissions. Like we said, you know, we had a lot of wonderful like storytellers and artists that all we really needed was push it a little bit more. Either our language, our own identity, or the feeling behind the art and the drawing. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening to me and for learning with me about color theory and about color language, all of these fun things, right? The iconic style, romance, and like a good ambience and stuff, and making a little bit of water. Thank you so much. Keep looking into that if that's something that you want to explore. I think as artists, we can explore. The sky's the limit. There's so many styles. There's so many languages, so many messages. Don't just like enclose yourself in the thing that you know. Learn more. Explore more. Color theory, shape language. How is it? The simplification. All of that. You never know when you're going to need it in your art. You never know when it's going to come up. And you're going to be like, wow, this is really good. Thank you, Anna, for some emotional words that makes me feel something creative and motivation about my own arts. Of course, man. Like I said, your art style when we got it. No, I'll keep using my layer modes. Like I said, Abraham, your submission was one of the few ones that we got with a very strong visual style that is not just necessarily, you know, like anime or painterly or like anatomically correct. I was very excited to see it, and I hope everyone in chat also was able to learn something new from it, you know, to see how all of this visual style, the iconic style, is truly that iconic, and it's used everywhere, absolutely everywhere. Again, thank you so much for joining, guys. Stay tuned for the next schedule. Right? Again, the submissions that we weren't able to get to today, we're gonna get next week on Saturday. This is the staple corner in my channel. That's, oh my god, my tracking. This is gonna be the staple corner in my channel. If you want your drawing to be featured here, and we can talk about how to make it a little bit better, how to play with it a little bit more, be sure to join the Discord. It's been in the chat right here. It's also in the description, the Shrimp Tank Discord. Grab the artist role and be sure to put your submission in the channel that says Art Help Submissions. I'm heading out. It was a fun stream. Thank you so much, Abraham. Keep streaming this time instead of the goblin hours. They're my normal day job hours. I have to be completely free from it before I can be with you. But this is why I like Saturdays are always going to be at this time to make sure that most of you can make it. Any earlier or any later, it's asking for a little bit, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. I'm sure we can have some days where you can have like a special time or something like that. See you guys. Thank you so much. Stay shrimp. Don't shower. Hunch a lot. Sleep a lot. And use Google to learn about new art styles. All the time, it's like 6 a.m. for me. Too bad. Thank you so much for the effort of coming here and watching the stream, Solis. Thank you so much for your submission as well. Thank you all so much. I will see you on Tuesday again. Bye bye.